Welcome to Terra Juno Painting Stuff. In this video, we are painting this 14 by 14 inch oil painting on location at the Chemainus River, and we will be very well guarded. We're going to be painting this cliff face, towering over a river. A friend introduced me to this scene a few months ago, and I just thought it was so gorgeous. I had to paint it. It was a bit of a difficult time setting up, and there's been a lot of people coming through, surprisingly, and that hasn't gone over well with somebody. This is my plein air buddy, Emily. She is 3.5, and she's a Jack Russell mix. She is a very dedicated guard dog. And as I found out today, she really does not like men that do not have shirts on. For her, it is right up there with women on the beach with large bags. She does not like it. It was kind of an ordeal to set up here. I got all of my stuff down here and realized that I didn't have my sun umbrella, so I went back to the car and got it because it was just impossible to film with the dappled sunlight on the panel. I ended up making 3 trips back to the car, so I was pretty tired by the time I actually sat down. Okay, I got my grid lines on my panel and a lot of paint. The paint just kind of happened. It was on something. Now I'm just going to erase any of these pencil lines the best I can. Here's my drawing. I'm going to get started on my color wash. For a palette, I have titanium white, fast dry white, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, cadmium yellow light, alizarin crimson, ivory black, cadmium red, medium, terra rosa, permanent green, Prussian blue, ultramarine blue, azo green, phthalo green light, and for a medium, I have Gamblin's solvent-free gel. I'm mixing some yellow ochre and burnt sienna with a bit of medium and solvent, starting with a large brush. I'm not sure where this particular brush came from. I used it for varnishing and the ferrule came off, so I put a screw in it and now it has a second life. Now I'm using a number 6 rosemary long flat badger hair brush. I'm working in with the same colors, except with more white over top of my wash, cooling it off with a bit of black in the shadow areas. I'm mixing a little bit of medium in with the shadow colors just to help keep them a bit more transparent in the foreground areas and in the water down below. And here's where we are so far. My shadows are really moving quickly, so I'm gonna have to put those in right away and then fake them. As my shadows get closer in perspective, I'm adding a little bit of ultramarine blue to cool them off even further and just add a little bit of color contrast. This whole scene is very bright. I am looking at the cliffs in a distance, so nothing is super dark. Painting reflections is always challenging. I find it really hard to do while I'm filming because I'm leaning off to the side so that the camera can have a better view of the panel. So I always find they're a little bit wonky at the end. It's the end of summer and it's hot and dry. I thought it'd be nice to come and paint by the river so Emily can stay cool. Emily usually spends her time hunting water skeeters when she's down by the water, but today, with all of these people, especially men without shirts, she was just on edge. Hey. I had to call her back a few times because she went chasing after people or their dogs. She knew she wasn't supposed to. Emmy, come back here. Come on, girl. Oh. This location is a bit tricky to find. I would not have found it on my own if someone hadn't shown me. So I was a little bit surprised that there were so many people here. When I first saw this place, I felt like its defining features were the stunning clay cliffs reflecting in the calm river water. But after spending time here, I have to say its defining feature is probably the amount of solo men without shirts that come down here. Whenever you go somewhere at a certain time of day, there's specific people that go to it. And it's really interesting when you're at a location for a while, you get to know the character of it and the characters that go there. It's one of the most interesting things about plein air painting, actually. My light's completely changed now. Fall is definitely in the air, and the Canadian geese are heading wherever they go in the winter. I seem to have this place to myself now. There might be one guy over there sleeping, but never mind him. Now that there's not so much barking and drama, I can concentrate on painting, which is actually a real joy down here. It's obviously a gorgeous scene. My main focus now is just getting the shadows in before they're gone, because, well, they're pretty much gone. Well, I'm gonna have to call it a day. My light has changed so much. It's still a gorgeous scene, though. I've loved every minute of it. I was very well guarded while I was here, thanks to Mrs. Emily. Poor Emily was tuckered out. She really put in a good day's work. Later in the day, the shadows looked surreal. It was like I was on another planet. It was so beautiful that it made your heart ache. It's inspiring, but it also gives you that feeling that you can never match its beauty in paint. I think that's what keeps plein air painters chasing the landscape, don't you? Thank you so much for joining me for another plein air adventure. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you paint something beautiful. Honey, high five? Good. Good girl.